Hello everyone and welcome to the Power 9 Podcast. My name is Mick, I'm one of your hosts alongside the Magic God, Cass Egg.
What's up?
The Quiz Master, Dennis.
Why am I the
Dennis
quiz master?
Yeah. And Joe Fu.
What's up?
That's it. Joe has no nickname.
Angry Man Joe.
Angry Joe Fu.
Hey.
I got a bad rap,
Joe,
man. Come on,
Joe
guys.
the Angry Man Fu.
This is a horribly bad rap.
Don't let me Joe Fu you.
But it's well deserved.
Yeah.
I'm only angry when people like Cass piss me off.
That's the...
If he didn't say stupid things,
But
I would never be angry, man.
But are you angry? Yes, you are. Still angry, bro.
Angry person. So yeah, hi guys, welcome to the show. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is the first time, I think, Joe, this is the first time you're on the show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we always talk about it on the stream, that we need you on the show.
But that's all lies.
To talk about the past. To talk about how the heyday.
Thanks for letting people know how old I am.
And today you're actually here because we were talking about the heyday. Yay!
Yeah. So make me feel old, you asshole.
You see?
We're all a lot
man.
older,
Yeah,
man.
Angry man.
Angry Man Joe.
Alright, so that will be your nickname from now on, Angry Man.
I mean, it has been my nickname for a while.
Joe,
So
Angry Man Fu. Got the... You say, are we all playing Valiant Force?
Yeah, I'm doing my gold mine, bro.
Yeah, I'm doing my
man,
goal.
what
But
the
I
hell?
can pay attention. I can multitask.
I'll try.
What the shit, man?
I only got 2 turns to finish the last round.
For those of you at home, don't play Valiant Force.
But you gotta support your
Thank you.
local.
Yeah,
Game-
Yeah,
developers, man.
80% of our listeners are not local, by the way. So I think
Well,
only like 5% of people.
I think I saw the servers being there's a Chinese server now, so I think it's open to like China now. The game.
It is?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's gonna be open to the US soon. And
Soon
it's
lah,
what-
soon.
And it's what it was voted like top 100 app in both Google Play Store and the Apple Store.
That don't mean shit, man.
That means shit, man. It means that your
don't
game
mean shit.
generates a
That
lot of
doesn't
revenue.
Money. It's all about the money.
Press those jams.
Press those jams, bros.
Okay, so today's episode is going to be about the past or the coming future. There was an article on February 9th about the return of nationals and changes to Grand Prix. And for those of you who are a little irritated with my voice right now, I'm kind of
That's
sick.
sexy.
So yeah, it's got sexy voice.
That's because
I'm
you,
Batman.
that's because you used all your powers to win the game day yesterday.
Game day, yeah. Before we go into that, let me introduce you to the show. You're listening to the Power 9 Podcast. Every week you can find new episodes on power9podcast.com, mtgcast.com, and on iTunes. Before we start on the news, we start off every show with My Week in Magic. Ring. Oh, Cass, how was your...
I went to one. I lost to Grixis Delver. I made a
Modern, right? Okay, so
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
play Modern.
I made a
You only play Modern.
I made a mistake. He had 5 cards left in his deck. He had Tarsiger, Snapcaster, and a boat.
Did he like just Doomsday or something?
No, he
5
basically
cards left in deck, like just...
5 cards left. I knew that he might have one more Tarsiger in the deck. So he had 1 card, I had 1 card. I drew Tarsi. So I was like, if his Tarsiger is a good hit because, I can't deal a 4-5 board because I have no cards in hand, no board, no man lands. I'm playing Abzan. So I
Okay.
Tarsis and he bolts my face. So I go from 15 to 10. And then he proceeds to top that Snapcaster to Korrigan's Conan, take another Snapcaster bolt my face again, and then top deck a Korrigan, and I just lose the game flat out from there. With only 5 cards left in his deck. So
Do you have like 2... Did you think about the 2 life though?
I thought about it, and that the benefit was that he only had 1 Snapcaster, and it was approaching last 5 turns. I knew that if he played the draw go game, he wouldn't kill me in time. But I felt that the tosses back then when I was playing, it was a mistake. But then looking back, I felt it was a mistake because there was a
But
chance
do you calculate that the 2 damage did matter or not?
Yeah, the 2 damage did matter in the end. I drew a blocker just before I died, so actually the 2 damage from Thoughtseize actually did make a very big difference. I would have won the game based on him just decking himself out. So that was a mistake.
Okay, I see.
My second opponent, I cannot remember for life. I played against another Grixis Delver, Ming Xuan, and I beat him.
That night there was a hell lot of Grixis Delver. All our feature matches were Grixis Delver decks.
Because everybody's like, oh my god, fatal push, guys.
The push so good, you gotta get that.
And then my last opponent was green-white, Altar of the Brute.
Oh yeah.
We saw that deck on stream.
Oh, man, that was
hilarious,
sweet.
man.
Yeah, I beat him because my deck basically kills every one of his combo pieces. before he gets the combo out. So I just 1-for-1 him all the way.
Happy lah. You're so proud of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the deck destroyed everyone. So I'm kind of happy that I won him.
It's hilarious, man. Like, he will come down and like...
The one-card meal actually did feel very effective. You could actually feel...
Like the thing just like drop. I need the land. Oh, there goes my land. Why?
Yeah, and the worst part was I was playing Grim Player, so like I have to think about like which cards I put on top and shit. It's like, what if he's gonna mute this away? He's definitely
gonna drop like this thing, and then you keep 2 cards, so and then he drops fetch land.
If you keep 3 cards and he lays a fetch land, like fetch card something, then you lose all 3 cards if you put it on top. So like,
why do I do
But
that?
I think it's an interesting thing. I enjoyed playing against it. It was quite funny. But
sounds like a fun deck though. You have the green black rock deck. Basically just bash face, right? Just
I'm playing the Abzan. I've
Abzan rock back.
Yeah, because Lingering Souls is a good card.
Yes, of course.
It's a ridiculously good card.
Just cast and beat and cast and beat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And basically that's all for my night in Modern. I mean, hopefully with the new changes, I'll be able to win more so.
How about you?
Nope, I have not played Magic.
No, not this week.
Not this week, not the last week.
Joe went to play Paradoxical Outcome.
The McDonald's is here.
McDonald's is here. Food is here. We can
Food
eat
is
during
here.
the podcast, but I think some people will be angry.
And now I gotta enjoy my hotcakes, man.
Hot cake.
Hotcakes.
Hotcakes are meant to be hot.
We'll get Joe back to describe his fight with Paradoxical Outcome. But I played quite a bit of Magic yesterday.
Yes.
I played
we've heard.
Yeah, so you've heard our champion, game day champion again.
Yay.
See, whenever the smaller sets come out, right, I get to win the game day playmat. Get to sound all the noobs.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Man, but it feels so good. Feels so good on this side of the table.
Advocates building community kills new players.
Kills player.
Well, yeah, once in a while I treat myself by playing an actual good deck. But today I brought the jank, man. Today I brought the absolute jank. I'm playing the Saffron Olive Special.
Saffron Olive
Turn 4 Ulamog with Indomitable Creativity.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
Sounds like a bad.
Sounds like a bad, yeah. Sounds like I'm going to go... things
Not
are going to go very
bad, I
badly.
think.
Because you cast something and then you get you investigate, you get one of those clues and then
you
get rid of the clues.
creativity.
The only creature in your deck is Ulamog.
Yeah, I mean, I had the idea before, but then I thought about it and I was like, no.
No, this is a bad deck.
I mean, I
gotta try hard.
The problem with the Indomitable Creativity is that you might end up hitting some, like, it depends on how the deck list is run, because you can hit something else.
There's nothing else.
There's nothing else. It's only spells.
2 times Ulamog, if I'm mistaken.
That's the only creature in the
What
deck.
if you lost Legacy your ass?
Then
you lose?
Oh, then there's Fevered Visions.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not so bad.
I can feel the struggle. It's tangible. I can
like,
feel it.
Vivid Vision.
Yeah, I already won yesterday lah. I don't want to bring the same deck back again.
Brag, ego
Just
stroke.
I don't know. I don't want to bash like people's faces. It's like yesterday, the minute I think I was playing against Perrin lah. So I played Perrin during the Swiss rounds and then during the semi-finals.
Okay.
And so during the Swiss rounds, Perrin like missed one land drop and he got wrecked like both games. And then during the finals, right, it was like we played a good even match and he still got wrecked. And I'm like, this game hard. I went, this was hilarious. Like he was able to stall out the board, so he had Ishkana and stuff like that. And he was hitting me for 3 a turn with
What
Ishkana.
were you playing?
So I was playing green black energy. Very aggressive deck. Plays Glint Sleeve Siphoner. It's a pretty good deck. It's a fun deck to play.
Okay.
You just have to sequence your draws. You just have to sequence well lah.
Okay.
And keep a good hand. So we were at this board stall state.
Okay.
I had Rishka and a few creatures and a Walking Ballista, and he had Ishkana and 7 mana. So he was draining me for 3 a turn.
Okay.
So my objective was to get this Walking Ballista up to 10. So he had 10 life left. I had 9 life left. So within the next few turns, I need to get this Walking Ballista up to 10 and then kill you. And I managed to do that. I was like, just on the last few turns. I think I was left at 6 life and then I just shot him for 10.
So basically, he had one draw. He had one Ishkana activation before he died.
No, he had 2 Ishkana activations. I started at 15.
Oh, right. Okay.
So he had 3 Ishkana activations. The minute he made the first Ishkana activation, I was like,
That's a clock.
plan B. I can't beat it with anything anymore. Like,
true.
all my creatures aren't as big as his. And so, plan B. Let's go down the walking ballista route. And let's just keep pumping the walking ballista.
Man.
It's hilarious, man.
Oh my god, man. Conformist, man. Playing them legit decks.
Oh, yeah. Playing those broken decks. How was your week in Magic?
Well, I played the Paradoxical Outcome deck in Standard.
Yeah.
Just for fun, because Mark built the deck. Because Mark likes to build goofy decks, right?
Yes.
It's a lot of fun, actually.
It's a lot of fun.
But yeah, if you don't draw Paradoxical Outcome, you die.
Is that like the end statement? Like,
yeah, really, I think that really
Paradoxical.
sums up the deck very well. Like, I think that you can probably get away with like just trying to gain life against an aggro plan. But that only works if you can draw the Paradoxical Outcome. Because eventually they will just put enough power into play and then you won't be able to deal with it. Because you don't have any mass removal, you don't have any removal to speak of.
Doesn't it have like Engulf the Shores to like push everything
Well,
back?
not Mark's deck.
Not Mark's,
So
yeah.
I don't know
of
what's
course Mark
going
was
on there.
Mark's like, yeah.
The deck plays
whatever.
17 lands, which is surprisingly robust. I mean, given the fact that
Holy shit,
yeah, you
17
actually
lands.
draw through quite a bit of shit.
Okay, it's blue-white, right?
It's blue-white, yeah.
Plays Shram.
Shram is actually, I find, really important, but Mark only plays 2 copies.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think it was only 2 copies. It felt like it was only 2 copies because I never drew it.
I never came into it. Why?
Yeah, I think like the cranes are not as good because they don't deter any kind of ground game against legitimate creatures.
Oh, yeah.
So besides the fact that they get you an artifact and some amount of card advantage, I think that Shram is strictly better because you definitely want to have one in play. Yeah, but there was one game where I drew like 9 or 12 extra cards with Reverse Engineer and Shram, and I didn't see a Paradoxical Outcome. So I think that the deck, if it wants to be really good, it needs to have some amount of redundancy. And like, there's an argument that Baral's expertise is that redundancy. I don't think so, because you don't draw cards.
I don't think Baral's expertise, maybe that redundancy, maybe...
Baral's expertise is good if you have Shram in play. If you don't have a way to draw a card off it, then it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you can bounce your own stuff as well, right? It doesn't mean that you bounce your...
So you just bounce everything that you own and then just like wreck face. But it's awesome when it works.
Sounds like True Steel
When
Paladin.
it doesn't work.
When and if it works. So
When it doesn't work.
Yes.
Yeah, when you don't draw the Paradoxical Outcome.
Sounds like the bane of every combo player. I didn't draw my combo piece. QQ. Life is hard.
Where did my ad nauseum go, man?
Yeah.
My Lotus Bloom. What?
True Steel Paladin, man.
Oh man, I have to try that deck. The Pure Steel and Shram.
Oh, Pure Steel. No.
Oh,
Bad time to
so
try it
good.
though.
it's
Because
bad
the
time.
Paladin is expensive now.
Oh,
I
sheesh.
played it against in a GPT,
I
even though I was
got
playing
four.
for fun.
Yeah.
When you hit the Fatal Push and if you're playing the True Steel Paladin, you're like, yes, it's not a good feeling, I can tell you. But for me, the one who Fatal Push your Paladin, it feels good. It feels like I just won the game.
Good. Alright, let's get on with the news. This week, there was an article that was written on the 9th of February by Helene Berjot. She is our... what's her title?
She
The
is
head of organized play, right?
Yeah, head of organized play.
So... Oh, it's got the bio here. Yeah, okay. So she's the head of organized play, if I remember correctly. She's from France.
She is indeed the head of organized play.
Director of Organized Play and Trade Marketing. Wow. Okay. Trade Marketing. So, lots of changes coming to the big events this year. Let's start off with the first, which is... should we start with the smallest one or the biggest one? Let's start with GPs. GPs and the Pro Tour. Because it's a lot of stuff to deconstruct. All right, let's talk about GPs and adjacent events. So... This year saw the last Super Sunday series. We have no more Super Sunday series. For those of you who don't know, and I did not actually realize that Super Sunday winners, they get invited to WOTC. I thought they just get win. Do they?
They do. They get invited to like overall championship of all the Super
All
Sunday
the Super
winners.
Sunday winners, right?
And then I think the winner of that, this one you have to check. The winner of that gets an invitation, invite to something.
to join Wizards of the Coast.
I don't know whether it's Wizards of the
I don't
Coast,
think that's a
but
prize, right?
But I think the price payout, I think it's like 10,000.
yeah,
1,000,
it's
yeah.
the equivalent of another GP basically. So
Okay.
it's like you've won a GP.
That's
There's some
quite a
other
bit.
thing to that. I think like you're invited. I'm not sure whether you're invited to the invitation or the World Magic
No,
Championship.
you're not.
Not
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Super
so
Sunday
I-
Series is
like the Super Sunday Series champion of the overall event.
okay.
I think he is, but she is. Sorry, don't mean to be genderist.
he,
here.
he or she.
They are equally as
Political correctness.
They are
bro.
equally as capable. No.
Yeah. I've seen some
They-
phenomenal
yeah.
players.
So yeah, no more Super Sunday Series. Instead, we are going to replace it, or not we, WOTC is going to be replacing it with the old Pro Tour qualifiers as one-shot events that players can participate on Sunday and they get invited to the Pro Tour. So, describe the old Pro Tour qualifier. I remember PTQs. I never played the PTQs before.
It was WMCQ, but it's basically like playing for WMCQ.
It's a one-shot tournament.
Yeah, it's a one-shot
essentially.
tournament.
You win a
Tournament.
PTQ, you qualify for Pro Tour.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
They pay for your airfare as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing as the RPTQ winner.
All right.
Yeah, so it's the exact same thing, and it's good because with the number of GPs, it means people who really want to qualify now, there's more avenues for it. Instead of just grinding for PBDQs, then hoping you win the RPDQ because you're competing against another 60 plus players again.
Yep.
This is a one shot thing.
Yeah.
So it makes it feels like it's more worthwhile to go for GP, have a holiday and play Magic, and if you don't make it in the GP, you at least can play in the PDQ.
Yeah.
And if you're really looking forward to joining the Pro Tour train or whatever, it gives you more avenue for play. I think it's fine. I think it's fantastic.
So we're gonna. I mean that means that you increase the number of Pro Tour participants by, let's say, 20 a
50,
season.
probably.
More than that.
50.
There are 50. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
this year
wait.
there are 57 events.
A season probably is
A season lah, a season. So you divide that by
Oh, a
four,
season.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you divide it by 4.
15,
That's about
10
right.
plus.
15
or-
to 20
yeah.
players. And that that will feed into the Pro Tour. So the Pro Tour will have more participants. Each one will have, let's say, 15 players extra per Pro Tour. The maximum capacity of the Pro Tour qualifier is set at 225. First come, first serve. So 225 is a 9-round tournament. That's it. Full stop.
For
And
Pro Tour. So
for-
basically.
For
for
the
the qualifier
PTQ,
tournament
for the
for some-
qualifier PTQ.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how good that is for the American TOs or any of the TOs really, and the players, because I think that in Singapore we are a bit cloistered because our mentality in Singapore has always been, since the start of Magic in Singapore, has always been very competitive mindset. Very similar to Japan, very similar to some of the rest of the Asian countries. Very little casual here. We talk about this a lot. There's very little EDH. There's very little casual. But in America, it's very different. There are a lot of players who are at a GP purely because they're
It's
there
an
for the Magic experience,
Yeah.
right? And they may not be interested in qualifying for Pro Tour. And some of these people are. They have very high stress jobs, so even if they do qualify for Pro Tour, they might not be able to go for it. Yeah. So the Super Sunday Series, I felt gave a lot of casuals just an opportunity to play more Magic with the prize at the end of it. So I'm not sure what the prize is going to be now.
Okay.
What the new Pro Tour qualifiers on the Sundays of GPs are going to be, but it has to be lucrative enough for the players to play, because if it's not, then the TOs lose a very, very large source of income on Sundays, and that makes it harder for everybody.
That's the thing. I wouldn't imagine. I mean, in Singapore, we look at it as just more chances to get into the Pro Tour, right? But that's actually a very interesting perspective. I didn't realize, I didn't think about the casual, a larger section of casual players going to the GPs. But won't that bring more competitive players to the GPs then? The fact that, okay, so what my first reaction is, okay, this is going to increase the number of attendance at GPs, which is great, because GPs currently have been losing a lot, especially in this region. The attendance rate has been a lot lower. Besides Japan, I think Japan is one of the exceptions, where they're maxing out, they're capping every single time. So my first instinct is that, hey, that's good. GP will have a lot more players, will drag out more of the competitive players to play in the GP. But with that said, like that's you're going to lose a bit more of the casual players.
No, I mean, I find that maybe, again, that is a very local perspective, very Asia-Pacific perspective. The American GPs have been growing in attendance, if anything.
Okay.
Maybe not as much as last year. Last year, there was a massive spike where we saw every event capped. Well, not actually, sorry.
True,
no, we're already in 2017. I'm sorry.
2015,
yeah, 2015, there was a very big spike where every tournament was capped. There were a lot of, like, 2,000 plus player GP events. Last year, I think less so. A lot of the events were like at 1,007, 1,008, and maybe that was the impetus for them to try and increase GP attendance. But I don't think that is the biggest determining factor. I think the biggest determining factor is things like hurricanes. Like when we were in GP Atlanta, and then there was Hurricane George or whatever.
Natural disasters.
Was coming up the coast. And I think Star City, which was running that event, had planned for an event of like maybe 3,000 players. I think their cap was 2,500 or 3,000 players. But in the end, I think that there were only like 1,000 to 1,300 players 1,500 players who showed up. And the reason why is because
you want to die on your way there.
I don't think it's death. Magic players are gung ho lot, but I think it was more that transport was a problem. The airports were shut down, roads were flooded, so it was very difficult for people to get to the GP. And from a convenience perspective, they just decided not to. I think it is relevant in Asia, less relevant in America, but my perspective is that it's because the GPs are getting incredibly expensive.
Yeah, that's
like main events are hitting $80 to $100.
$80 bucks. Okay.
Yeah, wow. I think like what were they charging in KL? They were charging
charging 90 Sing dollars minimum. That's
that's like the basic early bird registration. So I spoke to a lot of the Malaysian players when we were at GPKL, and they mentioned that it was just too expensive for them to play in the main event. Yeah. And that's why the capacity of... While there were a lot of people like milling around, buying cards, selling cards, just experiencing maybe even the side events, very, very few players were able to... At least like the Malaysian players were happy or willing to pay the price of the GP. So I think in America, where it's for them like a bit of a road trip and they'll set money aside for it. In Asia, it's
about getting to the Pro Tour.
It's just really getting there. So again, it depends on how much the qualifier costs, what's the price pool, etc. So it might pull those players who wouldn't play in the main event of a GP, might get them to play in the Pro Tour qualifier. But the problem with that is that it might take away attendance from the main event and be detrimental to what they're trying to achieve.
That kind of the other thought that went in my head, because the minute I think somebody mentioned in the chat, so what if you 6-3 on first day? Okay. Do you try to cash out on the GP the second day, or do you just go for a Pro Tour qualifier?
Then that will lie on your own objectives, right? Like, are you looking to cash out the GP and then like straight away after you cash out, just drop,
but 6-3 is like try hard mode, man. Yeah. Maximum try hard mode.
I mean, if you're 6-3, you could try to top 8 the GP and qualify for the PT.
You can't top 8 already. 6-3, you can't top 8.
Oh, 6-3, you can't top 8.
6-3, you can barely make top 64. You have to win every game. You can lose one game.
Well, actually, I think if you 6-3, you win out on day 2 with excellent tiebreakers, you are an outside shot for 8.
Wow.
I think you are very, very outside chance for 8.
6-3,
Well, I would say that depends on the attendance.
Yeah.
Also,
because the attendance, if like you have a 3,000 plus players, GP,
okay, then
you're not going to 6-3. You would probably still play in the PDQ.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, if you could day 2 with 6-3, it really depends on your objective whether you drop and play the PDQ, right? So like in terms of attendance, whether it will pull people away from the main event or not, I think that remains to be said, because I feel that probably what will happen is, since it's a day 2 event, people will come for the GP anyway, and when they do drop, they will play the event. So it won't pull away existing players from the GP.
The event has to start first thing in the morning. 225 players is a 9-round event.
Yeah, so in fact, I feel that I don't know about the Super Sunday series and what kind of attendance it generate, but whether it pulls away players from the main event of the GP, personally, I feel it won't. Because people will just flow naturally from not making day 2 in the GP towards the PTQ. And then people who are only there for the PTQ because the cost of the main event, which is the GP, is too high, will just come for the PT anyway. In the overall net effect, it should be an increase, but I can't be sure. It feels that way.
Yeah, there are a lot of variables in the air. A lot of it really does come down to price structure and payout. And cost.
Not really, I think, because actually previously Super Sunday series, let's say if you play either the standard one or the sealed ones, okay, it's actually number of players, it's actually Swiss rounds plus 1. So effectively, every Super Sunday series you'll be playing like 10 rounds. So if you lose one match, you will probably not make it to top
8.
Four.
Top 4. Yeah,
so
top 4.
each event top 4, you actually get to play the draft.
Yeah.
I don't know if you will brand that as a more casual event because 10 rounds of Swiss sounds intense.
Yeah, so that's what. Yeah.
You gotta what?
Hey man, you gotta play, man. You gotta play.
You can what? X2? Your max is X2, right?
You can't X2.
Oh, you can't X2.
X1,
it's a single elimination.
It's not casual anymore.
Yes, it's not casual anymore.
So
no, it's double elimination.
No.
It's double
It's
elimination.
Swiss, right?
No, it's basically
Swiss
it's the same structure as a normal Magic event where you actually have to basically
you have to win
almost everything.
Yeah, I think whether
it's actually not that suited for casual players. I mean, casual players would probably play the side events.
So the American events, right? The payout for prize tickets goes down quite far. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
so then they get
people
to play.
are playing for prize tickets, or they're playing for a shot at the big pool. There are other events on Sunday. So again, it does basically boil down into what is the cost-benefit analysis, or what is the EV for each of these events vis-a-vis the other events that are being run on Sunday at the American events. So that those are things that we can't really comment on right now because we haven't seen how the TOs react.
Yeah.
We'll see it when the first GPs come along or when they start to announce their price structures for those events. But I think that the one, what Cass was talking about just now, the 6-3, whether you day 2, whether you play day 2, I think that the difference is that the GP, if you day 2 and you do relatively well, it awards pro points.
Yeah, that's true.
And
all these events do not.
The PTQ, we don't know whether it doesn't.
It doesn't. I don't think it does.
But the minute you get invited to a Pro Tour, you do.
I mean, the actual PTQ itself will not award any pro points, but to the winner who will eventually fly over there, he's the only one awarded the pro points because
the one guy.
The one guy.
If he's attending.
I think that if you are a GP grinder, and if you 6-3, and you still haven't filled out any of your GP slots for pro points, then you're going to continue to play. Because if you do fairly well, you will get a certain amount of points, and that can help to feed you into future tournaments.
Pro Tour,
So I think for the grinders, it doesn't really change the math. But yeah,
for those casual, one shot, I know I'm good, but then I play
and the whole
once in a while.
PDQ compared to Super Sunday series, whether it's casual or competitive, I think it's all about personal objectives. Because you can go there with the mindset of I want to win. Then your objective is I want to win and qualify for a Pro Tour. If your objective is I'm here for a GP, I want to play some Magic, you're going to play anyway regardless of how well you do.
Yep. Yeah, you're going to play any event
very
anyway,
personal.
Right?
It's very personal. We can't really decide for the community what their objectives are.
Honestly, there are a lot of players who come to GPs and don't play the main event.
Oh yes, that's true. That's very true.
Hey man, I'm here to buy some cards.
Yeah,
hey,
buy some commander foils.
I want some foils, man. Where's my telepathy foil?
I have actually been asked for telepathy foils.
Hey, by me lah.
No, in an American GP.
What the hell?
In an American GP, I was asked by 2 people in the same GP, do you have telepathy foils? I think this was in San Diego last year.
Is it a woman?
I looked at the guy and
it's
sorry,
guys.
bro.
If it's a woman, I would like to get her to marry me. Telepathy foil, man.
There's some nasty
I asked Murali for telepathy foil. Look at me you think I keep these kind of kukuchiao cards?
Telepathy foil.
Oh,
I will
Dennis,
make
you're my
comments,
best
but in case
friend.
Murali watches the podcast, I cannot comment.
No, I asked Murali for it. Then he looked at me you think I keep this kind of kukuchiao foil? You keep every kukuchiao foil, please. You keep every foil.
I think, no, I can't say it. Yeah, never mind.
So the other thing about GP is that there's no more in-store Grand Prix trials. Okay, cool.
Which,
less events lah.
I think that the GPTs were not very relevant anyway. Say for example for us, we run GPTs for an American GP. You're not going to go to
nobody's going to
anyway.
go to the GP.
Yeah. So the only GPTs that we have well attended are the ones for the Southeast Asia where it's actually reasonable that people would go for that event.
I know GPKL there were people training GPT KLs
precisely
here and there.
Yeah, because then it would make sense because right now GPT Dallas, I didn't even go to Dallas.
Yeah, so
GPT Louisiana, I'm not going to Louisiana, bro.
So it's kind of weird lah. It was supposed to. I guess the main objective was to increase the number of increase the attendance for the GPs, but I don't think it did that lah. So
I don't think it. I don't know, because
I don't think it achieved that too.
one, I mean, if you're a grinder, GPT is definitely a way to make your time easier there at the GP, because 2 round buys basically gives you the time to go into the event, check in, go and buy your breakfast,
relax.
relax before the actual next 7 rounds.
And go scout
But if you're a grinder, you would probably hit that 2,000 plus
points, yeah,
PW
already.
points.
But for one, it's a
It's an
it's a
easier
sneak in,
grind.
it's a sneak in, right?
Yeah.
If you win, you can stop grinding for that 1 GP. Correct? Especially for Southeast Asia region, like GPT Brisbane. I mean, I went for like when we Grey Ogre were having a PDQ for standard. I went to CMG and I played the modern PDQ. It's still at like 19 players. So and people there, when I was talking to them, I saw some of the modern customers who came here. They said they were going to Brisbane, and it's actually very relevant to them, right?
So when it's relevant,
When it's relevant, it's relevant.
When it's close by, it's relevant.
Yeah, and the one thing I don't like is that GPTs always give shops a way to structure their tournaments, give them fair amounts of scheduling. So every shop has
for a reason, right?
Yeah.
For
So
a reason.
the one thing I don't like is because then shops will do this thing called race to the bottom. People will start giving exuberant prices, trying to attract customers, and everybody exorbitant.
Sorry, man.
I'm sorry, exorbitant prices, and a lot of stores will be doing that. And I mean, it's good for the players because we're getting a ridiculous sum back in terms of prices. But is it really good for stores, especially smaller stores who are just starting up and can't compete on this level?
I think this is a very legitimate argument, and
Long run.
it's good in the short term for players, but it's bad in the long term for the community.
But then I guess during the past 2016, stores have been changing their mindset. They have been changing their price payout for GPTs. It has more or less become a very casual price payout.
Yeah,
kind of
but that was I feel that reasoning is because GPs are given by WOTC schedule for every TO. There's a scheduling for these events, so there's no need to compete.
Yeah, there's a reason why you're having a tournament versus, hey, I want you to just come to my store and play and spend some money and buy my booster packs. And
Yeah,
stuff
because
like
if that weekend has only 1 GPT and there's no PBQ for some magical reason, people want to just play some competitive Magic, we'll go and play anyway and have a good time.
Yeah.
magical unicorns.
Yeah, magical unicorn land. So, and
I saw the gesture. Too bad there's no video, but like.
And for one, at least for us in Singapore, I think we are very calculative, and I think that if this is going to happen, we'll become spoiled for prizes, and it'll be very hard for new upcoming shops who want to build a community to compete on this level because clearly they don't have the backings to do so lah. And in the end, it feels detrimental if that is really going to happen. Like everybody's going to do the race to the bottom for like giving up prizes and prize structure. So I don't really like it. I feel like currently this system is fine. It benefits the players, benefits the TOs. It's casual. It's not going to generate a whole bunch of attendance, but it's good because no one is forced to do anything like.
Yeah, and like all of this is automatic. So I'm not quite sure why you're taking away. Like the minute you key into the system, the winner. You have, unless I don't think there have been a lot of mishaps in the past, but recently I haven't seen like I was supposed to have these 2 buys and then the system didn't actually record it. So I think it's a wasted opportunity lah. But I guess you don't want to give too many people free buys.
Yep, that's part of the reason why. Because actually. Okay, if you actually do see the number of buys like 1, 2, and 3, I think last year or 2 years ago, there was a discussion that there was too many,
right? Taiwan,
with 2 buys, then 1 buy. Yeah.
Dubai, 1
but,
buy.
I mean, but these players will whether it's too many or not.
You don't 3 buy me,
No, I never 3 buy.
Whether or not the discussion was there's too many or not, I think shouldn't change anything, right? Because the players
your day to.
Okay, yeah,
it changes your day to.
It changes the
Changes
match.
Oh yeah,
and it changes the experience. Like you imagine Taiwan, right? They had the article 70% players had 1 round buy.
Okay.
30% players had 2 round buy, and
Okay.
then 10, I forget, like 5% players had 3 round buy because of something. But yeah, the attendance was not very high.
Okay.
But even then, less than half your all is not playing on round 1.
Okay.
And that changes the way sort of the way you view things lah. Maybe administratively it might be a little tough because you got to manage the one round buys first. Then you got to allocate judges to make sure that, or tournament organizers to make sure that registration gets done within this period of time.
Okay.
And so forth and so on. So I understand that it complicates matters a bit, but I think if you're a good events management company or if you know how to manage your events,
I think it's negligible.
It's negligible. So
it's not so much that it's negligible as that the cost is already sunk.
Yeah,
regardless of whether there are
yeah.
1,000 players with one buy or 1,000 players with,
you just have
still
to
need
plan.
to have your system and structure to manage the
you
buys.
just need to plan it out properly.
Actually, it affects the Mets for day 2.
Yeah, I
it does affect them.
That's the main thing for players.
Probably.
Not so much for the TOs. I think
TOs, I think more or less it's the same. It's not going to do much, but it's for players with whether they'll have the chance of getting day 2.
Day 2, yeah.
2 rounds buys, that's quite a lot.
That's good. Yeah, but it's okay. Anyway, let's move on our discussion to the big topic, which is the World Magic Cup.
Boo.
WMC.
Boo. Don't like it. I want my promos, man.
Let's start with the return to 3-person teams. So right now we are having 4-person teams. We're going to go back to 3-person teams. The 4th person was introduced when we did away with the nationals. That was about 5 or 6 years ago. And this extra player, this 4th player, is supposed to be the coach. He or she doesn't play every round, or one person sits out every round, and then they play as a normal WMC, and then this player goes around to instruct players or to coach players how to play. Basically, if you've got one very good player, he or she will play all 3 decks. Yeah. Almost, and sometimes leave it on autopilot. You press the auto button and then let it go for a while. Then you move over to the next guy. Then you click off the auto button.
Yeah, you basically instruct the player.
So there's one less player. But right now everyone gets to play, and I don't know whether this is a good or bad thing. But there have been the main thing is that it's about the people who are at the World Magic Cup. Yeah, it has made some awkward team dynamics apparently. So I won't question that. They're probably infighting. You see team Uruguay come out, one guy who's got a black eye says, "Okay, I'm not playing today." So we know how they settled the who doesn't play today fixture, right?
Fisticuffs, man.
Yeah. Outside in the parking lot, for the World Magic Cup, the hotel where there's router at, right? There's a boxing ring at the bottom, jousting platforms and boxing rings.
I thought it'd be one guy will throw the deck in the air and it's fight for it.
Fight.
I don't know,
until the last card drops, right?
Yeah.
We see who's left standing.
And then that guy will be playing. I mean, whether or not it's 3 or 4 man teams doesn't. I've never gone for it, but I don't think it really matters that much.
I don't know, but if
I don't know.
say I'm
it's very hard to say.
Last person who was left out,
you feel kind of.
I don't feel kind of. I want to play Magic, but I'm just watching players. I'm just watching my friends or my teammates playing Magic, and that's all I'm doing for it.
But that's the best part. Then you can play the blame game, bro. We lost because you did this,
bro.
If only I was playing, bro.
Idiot, man.
I think I've overheard the Singapore team for last year, the Cloud Gold Ranger team.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of infighting, no matter who is the coach or who is left out.
Yeah.
So whether or not it's a small team or bigger team, we're bound. If there's going to be infighting, it's bound to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's 3, there's definitely no infighting.
Yeah, because in the end, everybody's play style is different, right? You should play XYZ, then it's no, play ABC. It's no, man, I'm a better player, bro. I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah, so that's not going to change whether it's 4-man or 3-man.
Yeah, it doesn't change. It still
doesn't change the game.
Yeah.
So that was the excuse lah. Actually, what they're trying to do is I don't have to pay for one more air ticket for 52 countries somewhere there to come attend my World Magic Cup. And it also you don't have this awkward one guy walking around behind.
I think that probably is a bit more the reason than I think not so much the money, because Yes, it's 52 countries. I assume that 52 countries. It's not even 52 countries.
It's just a few booster boxes for them, right?
Yeah, for them, it's a negligible cost in the overall scheme of their marketing budget, which is essentially what the Pro Tour is their marketing budget. But I think that, like, from a dynamic perspective, from a structure perspective, it becomes a lot easier for them because they don't have to think about the fourth guy, because it's exactly as Dennis was saying.
So like, what do I do with this guy?
What are we going to do with this clown, If you're this one guy.
And when it comes to feature match,
I tell you what, guys, you play first, I go and buy lunch.
Whoa, that sounds
want lunch?
That sounds like
good.
That sounds like good teamwork.
I mean, that would be good teamwork, but then you're like,
but then lunch is provided in the buffet. In the
oh, somebody's got a queue for their food. And
that's right. You want to get the good stuff? Send someone early, bro.
I will be the coach, because if I qualify, I'll be the bad player. I'll be collecting lunch and like, you guys, we're gonna lose for Singapore because you played bad. And I'm like,
but we got lunch first.
We got lunch, man.
And we took all the food for all the.
I took all the
nuggets, all the oysters,
all the Singaporean style. Fill your plate.
Oh, I've seen that recently by like some buffet. Like I think the past month, they just take the whole tray and just scoop it onto your plate.
Like,
you mean Danny,
every buffet in Singapore, man.
Then you deny other players.
Then they don't have nutrition.
Exactly.
Then they lose.
It is not enough for me to just succeed, but for others to fail.
We need a fourth player.
Yeah, so I do think that it's a structure perspective. It doesn't. It's very, very problematic that this one guy roaming around.
The other thing also is that when we do coverage, so if you notice for the World Magic Cup last year, coverage was actually not very... it's not the standard coverage you're used to where you have overhanging cameras over the table.
Yeah.
Because right now you have the extremely long table.
Yeah.
And so what they did was to have one camera over the shoulder of all three players, which is not ideal.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have the one less person roaming around, which means that you cannot like sneak up on players watching cards, you can have 3 separate tables. And when you have 3 separate tables, you can have 3 separate cameras, focus on the table.
But I think it's still a team event, right? Where they want to sit next to each other and ask.
Do they have to sit next to each other?
They'll probably sit next.
I think they'll still sit next to each other.
I think. I can't remember how it was run.
Because
is there outside assistance?
I believe that you can get up from your table to walk
to go
to another table. Very similar to how a chess tournament is run.
Or rather,
chess tournament.
Like how it would run like a team sealed or team limited. I mean, team sealed or team constructed. In the GP level.
Yeah. Okay.
Players are always seated
you can
together. Yeah, they could
the
talk
players.
about. Yeah,
whether like a certain line of play is correct
Yeah,
or not. So I think it'll still be the awkward camera over the shoulder thing.
Oh gosh,
it's just whether there's
it's
just whether there's a one random dude roaming around the back like giving the camera the weird smile.
You guys can't see it lah, but like some like creeper going around in the background. Okay, so they're going to. I think this one part, the shift back to standard. That is okay. They're going to do away with WMCQs. So no more WMCQs. We used to have 3. We're going to go back to the nationals. Okay, so let me read this passage and why they did it. Over the past 5 years, the World Magic Cup, World Magic qualifiers provided an avenue for players to qualify for World Magic Cup while alleviating the issues that had led to us to cancel nationals in the first place. The reason why they cancelled nationals is the lack of seasoned organizers in many countries was translating into nationals being the main, if not only, tournament, and it was impeding the development of regular play opportunities necessary to the development of local Magic communities. So what this means was that nationals was the only big tournament, but now we have places like, I think they're only referring to the states where we have SCG IQs, where we have SCG invitationals and the championships, where they're referring to Japan, where they got Big Magic, and they what other big tournaments? Haruya. Okay. How can I forget Haruya? Well, we're looking at Europe, which recently started the Magic Cup Market Championships. So now the organizers have gotten big enough so that they can organize their own like big tournaments, similar to the Pro Tour, but not exactly a Pro Tour. And so now we don't need the World Magic Cup qualifiers because there's all these other big events. So Yeah. Doesn't sound like a very convincing argument. Well, it sounds like a convincing argument to move away from nationals. Doesn't sound like a convincing argument to go back to nationals.
I think we actually have to look at the background of what nationals was.
Yeah. And
so
to get that scoop. Actually, the two of you.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Young, man.
Yep. So
No, I think that there's there's important perspective that needs to be taken, right? WOTC's view globally, and WOTC's view regionally. So I think like when I look at the global perspective, right, it makes sense for them. China is really coming out with their own tournament circuit. Taiwan has their own tournament circuit, small but it's there. Even we are, with Invitational, right, we are starting our own or trying to do
GreatGoodGames.com.
Yeah, GreatGoodGames.com. We're trying to do our own like
invitational,
long tournament invitational type event. In America, there's no question. With Star City, there they are really there's very very big things, and you're forgetting things like Eternal Weekend. You're forgetting things like other major like. There was one. What was it? It was in GP Vegas 1.5. It was Cardmageddon.
Oh yeah.
Cardmageddon. It wasn't very well attended. But the fact that they're interested to do those events, right, shows that there is appetite in America to get this done. I think honestly, the place where there's a bit of a gap is Europe, because Europe is, despite being in a union, they are very disparate. And in some countries, because of local laws, they're not able to hold events. For example, Germany, where you can't do like cash events.
Cash prizes,
I think that it has, like, based on the logic of why they moved away from nationals, it kind of has worked out.
Yeah,
in that
it has developed.
The smaller stores have been given an opportunity to run a bigger event, which they might not have been able to do in the past. So, like, for example, Grey Ogre, I think that without the WMCQ experience last year, Mark and Hao and the rest would have been less inclined to try and do an invitational tournament this year because they didn't have the experience. So the argument that it does help you to lead from small events to big events does seem to hold water. And maybe from their perspective right now, it is time to cut away the additional logistics requirements of doing WMCQs and then pulling everything back to nationals.
Okay, but part of it actually, last time nationals used to be run by WOTCs themselves. Yeah, so and last time even like let's say pre-release is run by WOTCs themselves. Yeah. So effectively events were run that way. Then the other thing was before that there was also the introduction of PWP, which made on to WMCQ. So previously nationals there's only like the top 75 players composite, and
then there were qualifier tournaments.
It's like a 1 day. It's a 1 day tournament.
It's a 2 day tournament.
2 day event, Okay. So it's a 2 day event, and it was fed into by firstly I think it's rating, right?
Yep, rating,
which was ELO back then. It was ELO ratings back then.
Yeah,
I think it was ELO ratings.
It's chess
it was chess ELO ratings.
So you had to fight against some other guy and then get.
No, I mean like so they determine ranks based on ELO.
Yeah,
but I think MTG moved away from ELO a very long time ago because they felt that there was a lot of discrepancy. I think like Kai Bud could play an entire event, go like 10-1 or some shit like that, very very ridiculous score, and still lose points. So that was So there was a point where they just decided that didn't make sense anymore, because there's variance. If this was a game like chess where the better player almost always wins, then the ELO rating will hold true. But in Magic, where it's a game of variance, you could potentially just mana screw and lose.
There's also the bet. I mean, there's also the other part whereby players could cold storage their points.
And stop playing. Once they hit a certain ELO, they would just stop playing.
You don't have to.
It was just bad, you know. Then the other way to qualify for nationals was that they ran a series of like I think
national qualifiers.
Yeah, 3 or 4 national qualifiers, and if you top 8 the national qualifier, you would make it to nationals.
But those were organized by WOTC. Were the national qualifiers organized by WOTCs or by the
They were farmed out to stores, but honestly back then there were like maybe 3-4 stores in Singapore.
Comic Smart.
So
JJ.
I used to work for Comic Smart, and Mart used to run like most of them. And then like it wasn't really War of JJ. I think it was like Apang's place. I think
Asia
Card Shop. So there were like a few small like
I think
events.
there were like 5 or
not that many. And I think that like WOTC dictated how many qualifiers you're allowed to run. I think it's 4, and then they farmed it out. I'm not certain whether that was the case, but so it was very hairy back then.
It was a lot of like it it feels, the way you describe it, it feels like a very channeled hierarchy.
Yeah.
Requires a lot more, like,
Right.
you know,
But I
like
guess
how the
that
RPTQs are now.
as a result of that, there was a lot more emphasis and a lot more prestige that came along with being the national champion.
Yeah.
You are
being
invited.
invited.
You are.
Yeah.
But for now,
Because you have to top 4 a fairly large event that ostensibly included the best players in your country.
And then you had to go and do well
Yeah.
for the... Oh, wow. Okay, so...
because to be invited into nationals itself was hard.
Yeah, it was tough.
It was tough.
Yeah,
Do you get, like,
I honestly don't know whether it is any easier now because you actually have to win a tournament. And honestly,
Yeah,
I think like based on size, our WMCQs now are larger than like our
Than the
nationals used to
yeah.
be. For
So
sure.
nationals used to be like 70,
No,
70
no,
odd
it used to be
players.
like
100 plus,
100
100.
players.
Okay.
Yeah.
WMCQ, like each WMCQ last year hit more than 200 plus players.
Yeah, I think we hit 220 for minimum for every WMCQ.
For every yeah.
I think that the difference is that one is an invitational tournament, so ostensibly the quality of the players is higher, and the WMCQ is an open tournament, so anybody can
okay.
participate.
Well, it's not. It's also true invite, but the bar is set.
Quite low lah.
Yeah.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you have to have a
There is
certain
a
amount
bar,
of points.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that,
I'm sorry, that bar seems to be non-existent.
Yes, yeah.
to us, it seems to
We
be
check at the
non-existent.
WER. Basically, everybody who play Magic does
yeah.
not qualify, man.
Basically, you probably have like 400 players who are actually qualified for it.
Yeah,
and
I think
probably
our
you
last
only have
chance
like
qualifier-
600 players.
Yeah,
but
our last chance qualifier was like 8 people or something, right, for the WMC. It was a very, very
Nobody
small
else,
amount.
Nobody
yeah.
could not qualify.
No, I mean you could.
Nobody
the
could not
LCQ gives
qualify,
you a
yeah.
buy if you're already qualified.
No, actually, I think they removed
No,
it.
they removed
It was
it.
purely
Yeah.
for people who did not qualify
Yeah.
Okay.
and wanted to
Last
qualify
year,
for
yeah.
WMCQ.
Okay.
They had that little table in the corner that had very bad
Yeah.
lighting.
Hey, don't say like that. I'm sorry, the lighting wasn't better. I will endeavor to work harder, but we're not going to have WMCQ.
So it's the
anymore.
real question for these.
I remember it was
Eight players, right?
yeah, players.
But then now
Just
is
so
it
to
the
run
question whether it feels more prestigious to play the old national style, or is it that we should move towards Magic being more accessible to all players,
Yeah.
where it's easy to qualify for event, although it's not that prestigious because everybody can play.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say we go back to... I don't know how they're going to structure the nationals now, but from the feel of the article is that it's going to really go back to
Old
that
style.
old style nationals, which is the top X number of players get invited, and then you got to play in the national national qualifiers.
I think, based on the announcement, it says if we are looking at the invitation policy,
you need to accrue a certain number of planeswalker
which
points.
would be the same, the
Same.
200.
Okay, so it's the
that's
WMCQ,
yeah,
right?
it's
The
just
WMCQ.
it's just a change of name to make it
Yeah.
into nationals.
Yeah, okay. Except now you only have
I mean,
one.
maybe the change is that they put the bar a bit higher because there's only one. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's the
I-
same. Who
They
knows?
might, yeah. But
Yeah, we have no idea for
I don't
now.
think it changes the math significantly because I think that the players who are good enough to qualify play enough Magic to get to that benchmark anyway.
Yeah, but then
So-
now you're removing... Okay, so we had this... me and Cass had the conversation earlier. You're removing the number of chances that people can join. But the fact that you now only have a 3-person team, one of the persons is the highest pro player, the best pro player in your country. And then the other 2 players will be invited from nationals. So, you're removing one slot already.
Yep.
Is that
And
what
then-
they're doing?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
First,
So that's why
the
we
national-
were
First
mentioning
and
about
then
the
two. So that's why
3-man
nationals-
and the 4-man team. Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Okay. That's a change from the previous national system because I believe that there were
All
a period
three.
of time
all
where
3 or all 4. is
yeah,
it?
well, the winners of the tournament. So potentially the best player in your country could not be playing for
then they pass down the
team.
invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just gives less opportunity for players to get a shot into
A fix of Magic.
the World Magic Cup. Granted that you have to win the tournament, making it to the top 8 is very difficult. Like last year, every tournament you had to 8-1 to make sure that you make it to the top 8. In fact, there was one guy who 8-1, 8-1-0. And he didn't make it. Yeah. So 8-0-1 will make you into the tournament. 8-1-0. I think one guy there were 3 people 8-1-0, and then one guy didn't make it, and the guy was very sad.
It's like
9th place.
Marty, bro,
It's all
Marty.
salt, so heavy, so much
It
salt.
could be so many flavors, but you choose to be salty.
Yeah, but then making it to the top 8 is tough. To win is even tougher. And then you're at the finals, and the finals you just happen to mana screw or this thing. So, like, national sounds like, okay, you make it that far, you get to the finals, okay, you've gotten your place. But there's only one. It's not like we carve it over 3. So, just less opportunity for players. And what we were talking about is that, is this good for stores? And it doesn't feel that way.
It doesn't feel that way. For one, I believe that what I said was, so like the build-up, right? So their argument is that the WMC queues help smaller stores get the experience of hosting organized plays. Long-term organized play for like year IQs and stuff, all right? So if we didn't get that experience, then how could we run
that's a very Singapore-centric argument.
Okay.
There are 3 WMCQs in America.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
so who
it.
runs the 3 WMCQs? Channel Fireball.
Okay.
I think they ran one. I think Star City ran the other one. And then I think it was Troll and Toad or ABU ran the last one. I can't remember who it was. But you see, it's not small stores who are running the WMCQ in America.
It's
not small stores that are running
It's
the
really
WMCQ in Japan. It's Haruria, Big
stores.
Magic, and Dragon Star. I think it was one of the other big stores in Japan. So it's a very, very uniquely Singapore perspective. Even in maybe Singapore, Malaysia, Australia,
Asia, Southeast Asia.
maybe Southeast Asia, Asia Pacific.
Yeah.
Because even Australia, so I think it's like Good Games and like 2 other people who ran the thing. So the argument that it gives the small stores experience to run bigger events, doesn't really hold true globally. It holds true for Singapore for sure, and I think that it helps. It helps the stores here who have the right attitude, right? Develop and think about how they want to run bigger events,
even games,
but. It doesn't really do that in the bigger countries.
More established states, right?
Right. So the argument that WMCQ does help to feed events, it's like smaller events into bigger events, or teach like the smaller people how to build events, right, is tenuous at best globally. We benefited from it, don't get me wrong. I think Real Good Games benefited massively from running the WMCQ last year. But I can understand that it's not a global argument. And I can understand why Wizards wants to move away from it.
Yeah, but I can't imagine like if you have such a big tournament on one specific day, everybody's like, all the Magic players have to clear their calendars. Well, I guess you have to anyway.
It's 1 year in advance.
It's 1 year.
I mean, if you can't make it, you can't make it. So that's how it used to be in the past. You can't make it, you can't make it.
Yeah, you can't make it, you'll probably
you miss the free draft.
Yeah, but it kind of sucks for players Like you only have like that one chance, and we're talking about promos.
Then we're also talking about last time Nationals. It used to be both limited and constructed.
Yes.
Seems like this new
is only standard.
event. It's only standard. So there's no limited.
No
free draft. No free draft.
Oh shit!
Yeah, there's no 2 pots of free draft.
Quarter rest.
No, it used to be very interesting because like it used to mirror the structure of a major tournament in the past, and that's why Nationals was actually really very fun.
Yeah,
because it wasn't about like if you misregistered your deck, you're screwed for the whole day, or whole 2 days kind of thing. It was actually, there was quite a bit of variety that went on. And I think I remember one year where I don't know whether they did Rochester. This is many years ago.
Rochester Draft,
which used to be it used to be a proto format. Rochester Draft used to be a proto format, and I think that they did do that for one of the Nationals. This one you have to ask Ben. I think he played in one of them. So yeah, like the different formats to challenge players in the different aspects of Magic was very, very relevant. But if they're going to just a straight,
they are,
No.
and that's the thing.
At least from the article, it seems like
this means the format for all Nationals will also be standard.
That's fun.
That's cute.
So, but for WMC, is there any limited format?
WMCQ, no, there wasn't.
No,
any
like
limited
WMC itself, Cup.
World Magic Cup.
Yes, I
There's
believe so,
a
right?
limited draft.
Then I mean, players
Team
who are
draft,
playing
team draft.
Nationals, it's not going to help.
Good luck, man.
You are not going to get any practice from the event itself, from
Magic
the feeding event.
And I think that maybe that was a function of what it used to be, because the qualifiers, if I remember correctly, there was constructed ELO, there was limited ELO, and you could qualify on either. So you could have a shit constructed rating, but you qualify on your limited ELO because you played very good limited. And the vice versa was true. So the event itself had to screen to make sure that you could play both,
Okay.
So maybe that was the reason. and there's less of a reason to do it now. But it was a lot of fun. It was,
it was.
It really was a lot
Do you
of
guys participate in the nationals before?
I never got in, but I always like loafed
The national
around waiting for
qualifiers
people
and
to
stuff,
win so that they can chia. Then we can go to Kushimbo because it used to be held at what's that?
So you're the team captain.
No, I wasn't. I was just the Kyola sub, eat the food, go in the morning.
That's for nationals, I think.
Free value.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of the day, first day of nationals, you all probably went over to Kushimbo. Or something.
Usually or like day 2, at least after day 2, somebody top 8 with some money, then
It's like, woo!
thanks, bro. Kushimbo.
So I mean, those are our thoughts. Do we have any other closing thoughts on the changes to WMCQ? I think this is going to be a big thing. We don't know. Like right now, it's so hard for us to predict. I mean, we can talk about XYZ and it seems like a little very cloudy.
I think that it is detrimental for Singapore. But like for the rest of the world, it might actually help to solve some of their problems. Because like, I guess that like having one localized location is fair to everybody. Because our country is so small, it's a lot easier for us to make each event well attended and a bit of a spectacle. Where we're doing a whole bunch of things.
The only place where it will be so difficult to get to is even
Tuas.
No. Yeah, I was going to say Pulau Ubin, but now that you mentioned Tuas, probably Tuas.
Yeah, go to Tuas.
Tuas, you got to like change your pass.
You need to
for like visitor pass.
you probably need to bring your passport.
Coney Island. Coney Island is Coney Island. You can like you don't have to take a bump boat there, man.
Nowadays, like even Lazarus Island is connected by road, man. Lazarus Island, WMCQ.
Like I imagine like if you go to like Ubin or to go to like what's that Tekong. Then like halfway through, suddenly you're checking through your cars and then the gust of wind blows and shoo! Oh no, it's all in the water.
BMTC.
The struggle.
Real struggle.
After you wash out, then after you go fall in. Okay, so that is our thoughts for the WMCQ and the nationals and the.
When does it come into effect? Is it for this year?
This year.
So we won't have WMCQs this year.
No.
That's
so the time where they're gonna give Blingmorph?
Previously, I thought there were 3 scheduled WMC. Isn't that?
Were there?
It
says
were
here
on the calendar event.
wait.
It was already.
It says here. To participate in their nationals, players will need to accrue a certain number of Planeswalker points by the end of the yearly award season, which is May 28, 2017, which means the national starts this year.
Okay, I mean, accrue this year, which means that they are qualifying for next year. So it's the same at like the previous
No,
WMC.
it's qualifying for this year. WMCQ, you
qualify
for
the
that
year.
year.
That seems like it will cause a very large uproar because players don't really have enough time to accrue the
They don't have
required
enough time
points.
to react to the change as well.
It's
Yeah, but
because
that's why
always
it's
a
saying,
yearly. So it's last year's.
Yeah, so actually,
qualify for this year's.
that seems to make more sense.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's probably next
no,
year.
but if they indicated a 2017 cutoff, right?
That's why, no,
Then, yeah,
even if
doesn't
it's
make
for
sense.
next year,
Yeah, it
you
should
don't
be-
have a lot of time to accrue points
But
for
you
next
have
year.
from last year's last year's
Correct lah.
May. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
nationals is this year, it doesn't really matter. But it's the same. WMCQ took the points for
Last
that you
year.
accrued for this year.
No, WMC took the points for last year's. So effectively, if you played last
No,
year's
it's this year,
WMC,
it's this year.
you can actually.
What was the cutoff date for WMCQ last year? Was
May or something.
It's the
May,
same.
right?
It's always
It's
the same.
yeah,
It
it's
has
always
always
May.
been the same. So by the end of May, if you didn't have points, enough
don't
points,
qualify for
you don't
that
qualify
year.
for this year's WMC. Q.
Correct lah, yeah, lah.
Yeah, so it's this year May. This year the
Last
cutoff,
year's
then
May
it'll be
to
for
this year, for
the
this
national
year's.
this
Yeah,
year.
lor, so that means for
For
this
that
year.
for that next WMCQ lah. So let's say
so
in
now the
2017
important question is, did they change the cutoff?
Okay, so
yeah.
there's no
So no data right
mention
now,
here,
right?
yeah.
It's very sketchy because like you will get an uproar from the players.
Yeah.
They're basically going to get the players who say that, oh, I didn't know that this was the case. You increase the cutoff on me. Now I don't qualify. Yada yada yada. So
February.
That's how Cass wins, man. Everybody not sure.
Q people
Everybody
are
not
lying.
sure, and then Cass is the only one there. Yes.
Talking about PWE points, so removing GPTs actually means removing the 3 times multiplier.
Oh
from
yeah,
events.
so less points, more grinding. Okay, anyway, that's another issue for.
So it seems like a very, very complicated issue.
Yes.
There's a lot of variables that are in the air. But if they're trying to indicate a May cutoff, they better come with the details soon, because players are going to be, and stores are going to be in a bit of a limbo, because the people who are going to be left carrying the can are not really Wizards, are going to be the local game stores, because they're going to have to explain to their players why. So this is something that I guess.
Hey, bro, it's not my fault, man. It's Wizards of the Coast, bro.
Oh man, there's a premier event policy.
Well, the policy itself is not, the document is not
updated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's using the old information.
Yay. Alright. If you have any other thoughts, do let us know either on our Facebook page or our Twitter or anywhere that you find this. You can leave it in the comments. Cool. So we're going to end the show and we're going to have our breakfast for a second time. I already had second breakfast, which is
we're
lunch.
like hobbits, man.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to the Power 9 Podcast. Remember, every week you can find new episodes on power9podcast.com, mtgcast.com, and on iTunes. And if you're there, do leave us a review. You can also find us on youtube.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/power9podcast, on Instagram @power9podcast, and on Twitter @power9podcast. The 9 is the number 9. You can find myself on Twitter @TheAsianJudge. You can find Cass nowhere.
On Facebook only.
On Facebook, but you need to be...
Need to be a girl.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie about these guys.
No.
Maybe wear a skirt. That's it.
Gotta tell the truth, bro. Tell the truth.
You can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheAsianJudge, twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames. You can find us like Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights when we do the streams. I had a lot of fun doing the modern again. I think I'll just do modern.
Altar of the Brood.
Yeah, Altar of the Brood. Crazy brew.
Nasty shit.
Alright, we're gonna sign off for today. So for myself, Cass, Joe, and Dennis, we are signing off. We hope to see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Breakfast.
Second breakfast. Lambas bread.